And finally tonight, our tour of the hidden treasures of the Great Smoky Mountains continues with a hike in the Cosby section of the park.
Here's 10 News reporter Michael Crow.
You don't have to hike far from the parking lot to get closer to the secrets around Cosby.
It is tucked away in there, but it's not too far off the trail.
Secrets Mike Maples has spent a lifetime discovering. He's written books about the treasures in different sections of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and just finished his volume on Cosby.
It's got hidden cascades, it's got treasures of plus it's not as crowded.
Maples often goes exploring off-trail, looking for pieces of history that aren't on the park maps.
We've got about 75 homesteads in this area.
Places like this, an old home site he says belonged to the Carver family. It's a trip best made in cold weather when the vegetation is low.
It has a fireplace on both sides, and it was an 8-room framed house. Probably has some very fancy gingerbread molding on it.
But that's not the only reminder of the park's past tucked away in this section. Several hundred yards off Lower Mount Camerar Trail in a small clearing is an old car, likely used by the Civilian Conservation Corps.
Kind of surprising it this close to the campground and nobody knew about it. Yeah, there's several of these in the park. This is one of the better ones on the Tennessee side for sure. And today in the snow, it just looks great. All it needs is a battery.
The CCC helped develop many of the park's trails and buildings back in the 30s. Maples thinks the car probably broke down here. They left it, and the forest eventually grew up around it.
Because most of the time you find an old car, all you find is a few fenders, or maybe you might find the bottom part of the car, like there's a couple of greenbrier like that. But this one's I just think it's outstanding.
But while these reminders of the park's beginnings are interesting on their own, he also enjoys what they represent, the people who forged this place years ago.
Oh, sure. And these were big families with a lot of kids, and heartbreak and devotion and dedication, and lived here and died here. A lot of them did. They were a special kind of breed of people.
That's always on his mind in the park, regardless of what he finds.
You find something new, great. Some days you hike way up an old road and chase it to the end. There's nothing there, just woods. Still a great day. Still a great day.
Because as much time as he's spent here,
used to be a house sit right here on the left.
Around every corner, there are still more stories to discover. Michael Crow, 10 News.
The Park Service says be respectful of these places if you do come across them. And if you'd like to visit one, ask a ranger at a visitor center for directions.
Coming up tomorrow, the third part of our series will explore more hidden history of the Tremont section. Been a fun look at what our Smokies have in our backyard.
I've really enjoyed seeing the snow there, but I'm really looking forward to the warmer temperatures. And throughout the park, cemeteries are telling stories about time periods throughout history. Much warmer there. Ahead on 10 News at WBIR10news.com. Look at yesterday's story about the cemeteries found throughout the park.